Yeah, we had a great trip to Old Dominion. First time we went up there and played, and a great trip for us. The weather was beautiful, some nice fall weather up there, different from what we've had in Louisiana. And I think that really played in our favour. We came out, we were really energetic. We played with some intensity and purpose, and we caused some trouble for ODU in the first 20 minutes, forced them into making a couple of changes, and that kind of evened the game out. So it was a good battle up there. They're a really good soccer team that play some exciting football, and we kind of challenged them to play on their home field. And we came out victorious. We had a great counter-attack in the second half that led Alyssa Abbott to playing across to Tatum Beck with a fantastic one-time finish, and it was really good stuff for us. And then they really rose to the challenge and saw out the game and really played as a team, top to bottom, to see that 1-0 victory on the road, which is huge, especially for a conference opponent of that level that won the tournament last year. To get a victory at their place is fantastic. We came home, and I think it was just a perfect storm. We had a great trip to ODU. We were riding high. Emotions were great after a great victory, and I think we just came out a little flat against ULM. Came out first 20 minutes against ULM in both halves, they were flat, and in the second half they punished us. They scored that goal, and then after that, a very, very mature team, very well experienced team that kind of saw out the clock and run out the game, and we just lacked some opportunities. We created a couple, one in the first half, and then one towards the very end of the game in the second that we could have capitalised on, but we don't want to rely on just those two chances. So an up and down weekend for us, walking away with 3 points after two tough opponents. They both have 2 wins on the year now in conference. We look back on, and hopefully that's a positive at the end of the year, but definitely saw, again, it's the same thing week to week. We just have to figure out those moments when the game's level, who's wanting to step up. When we go up a goal, we do really well at seeing the game out, but if we go down a goal, we really rise our intensity and we challenge the opposition and we always fight back. But when those games are even, I think it's getting to the point now where we have to be able to make the first move rather than waiting on the opponent for us just to respond. So good learning lessons for us there, and excited to move into a week where we get a full week of practice, and we can make some adaptations and some changes moving into a very, very quality James Madison team on Saturday, and we'll be excited to host them here for a home game.
Speaking of hosting James Madison, it's a one gamer on Saturday. I don't know how rare a Saturday kick is, but how does that work as far as adjustments and planning for the week?
It's good. It gives us a chance to train throughout the week, but not train too much when you play on a Sunday. Sometimes going for 7 days can really wear on the athlete. So going on a Saturday is one less day. We'll still be able to get a lot of work in this week and make some adjustments on what we've done over the last week and where we need to make some tweaks in order to improve for Saturday. So I think it gives us perfect preparation in order to go through and get ready for the game.
JMU is a very experienced club also as far as having long-term success. How do you do that week after week playing these very good teams?
I think that's something that we are very good at. For some reason, we get into spots where we get challenged mentally and emotionally, and the athletes are fantastic at responding to that. I'd say USF was a great challenge for us there. ODU was another good challenge for us there. We just have to make sure it's consistent, top to bottom, and I think they do a phenomenal job of rising to the occasion. We just need to make sure that we have the internal drive every single game for 90 minutes to make sure that the quality of our play is at the highest expectation for us to go and get a positive outcome from the game.
Speaking of maintaining that consistency, what are some of the things you and the coaching staff are trying to do? Because you had mentioned between ODU and ULM there was a little bit of a flatness. So what are some of the things that you guys some of the things that you guys are doing to try to keep that kind of at an even level?
So at practice, we're able to create the environment where there's something to play for, rather than just going through tactical or technical exercises where we're working on techniques or decision making. We're able to create the environment where there's something on the line, there's something to play for that replicates the game, and we're able to do that going into ODU, and we saw a positive outcome. The challenge there is that when you come back on Friday, we didn't get to train on Friday because of the travel on the way back. It was a full 24-hour travel. We got a pre-game session on the Saturday. It just wasn't quite enough, and that caused us to come flat into ULM. So I'm really optimistic and hopeful that training this week will give us 4 days to get ready, and it'll give us a lot of time to create that environment again so we can go in prepared for Saturday.
You had mentioned that I think last week you had mentioned that your team is gaining more experience. What have you noticed as far as your team, as far as maturity? What has matured most with your team that you've noticed?
Composure on the ball. I think we've got some young players, some freshmen and some sophomore right now that are really settling in. They're being able to look back and say, okay, we've been here, we've been pressed, we've been challenged, the physicality's been there from all the opponents we've played. So they're not as panicking as much when they get the ball. Some of the freshmen yesterday really stepped up and played well for us. It was good to see, because when we look down and we see a young freshman playing well, I think that kind of inspires everybody. And I think that's what led us on to create some chances towards the end of the second half. We just need to figure out that throughout the whole game now.
Talk about ODU's defense last week, and that was going to be a challenge for you guys. What worked well? What did you guys do well that was able to, I mean, not many people scored against ODU this season so far. You guys were able to do that. What worked well for you guys?
We were able to counter-attack in their space. So obviously they create a lot of chances with the ball, and their back three like to have the ball at their feet. So when they stepped up into our half, it was an opportunity for us to go and expose that. And that's exactly how the goal came. Alyssa Abbott got in behind. She played a perfect ball inside the box. Tatum Beck split the defenders and had a finish. So I think we were able to capitalize on the spaces when they had stepped up for us, and it worked into our game plan really well.